Good morning, children. You have been studying a number of stories every year, and it is a part of language study. You have been studying grammar, so it is a part of language study. So, in order to master the language, you must be equipped with rules of grammar, but you must be find it very tedious and burdensome. But when you read the stories, I'm quite sure you must have enjoyed those stories. When you read a poem, it makes an emotional appeal. It touches your emotional chord. And then you forget about the world around you. You forget about the surroundings. You forget about the daily tedious works. You forget about your frustrations. And you just get transported in altogether different world of yours. It's an imaginative flight what you enjoy the most. And you'll find a lot of pleasure in that kind of reading. So in order to promote reading, we are going to have a reading week. So during this week, a number of activities will be organized. There's going to be read debate competition, online book buddies, online session. So all these activities you are supposed to do. Along with that, you have to write a book review. And you have to read a book on military leaders in addition to the book of your choice. Discover the joy of reading and promote reading. Go through different kinds of books. Find out what you are interested in. And once you discover this joy of reading, you'll keep on reading. And whenever you face any challenge in your life, any difficulty in your life, you will have somebody to console you. You will have someone to comfort you. You'll find a digression. You'll find a way out. And that you'll find through the book. So, here onwards, make it a point to read a book, if not a week, at least a fortnight. One book for a fortnight. So start reading and let's read a number of poems, stories, and interesting anecdotes during this week. Let's enjoy the life with reading. Poems are the ones which are beautiful thoughts, and that's too very crisp. So let's read a poem and let's learn how to read a poem. Adventures with Books by Velda Blumhagen. Books are ships that sail the seas to lands of snow or jungle trees. And I am the captain bold and free who'll decide which place we'll see. Come, let's sail the magic ship. Books are trains in many lands, crossing hills or desert sands. And I am the engineer who guides the train on its exciting rides. Come, let us ride the magic train. Books are zoos that make a home for birds and beasts not free to roam. And I am the keeper of the zoo. I choose the things to show to you. Come, let us visit in a zoo. Books are gardens, fairies, elves, cowboys, and people like ourselves. And I can find with one good look just what I want inside a book. Come, let us read, for reading's a fun. Remember, when you read a poem with intonation, with modulation of voice, what happens? You enjoy a poem. You learn a lot of beautiful thoughts. But at the same time, it touches your emotional chord and makes you a great orator. Now, to become a good speaker, poetry reading is very important. You'll catch the rhythm in the lines of the poem. And once you catch the rhythm in the lines of the poem, you'll know where to raise your voice and where that falling tone should be there, where rising tone should be there. You will acquire that skill, which is very important for oratory. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. Now, reading is for your mental well being. How the exercise helps for physical well being. So, if you want to maintain the body, what is required is exercise. But if you want to maintain the mental health, the mental well being, then reading is what helps you. It helps you to control your emotions. It feeds your mind with a lot of beautiful thoughts. So, whatever you do, it must be selective reading. It is not that whatever comes to your mind to read, don't read that. But what is better that you read? This line has often been used to describe the importance of reading. But I would like to say the joy of reading cannot be expressed in words. It's something which can be understood only through experience. A lot of discussions are there on pleasures of reading. You must have written the essay Pleasures of Reading. But when you read a novel, when you read a book of your choice, when you read a book of your interest, if you find anything very interesting, and when you read that, the joy that you experience most is the what is cherished forever. So when you read, you encounter a new world created by the writer. And you go into that world, you forget about yourselves, you forget the surrounding. And that pleasure that you derive, that remains sometimes forever. Why to read? What is the purpose behind reading? Reading has many benefits. It's not merely the pleasure. It teaches us new vocabulary. You learn number of words. When you come across words, and if you don't know the meaning of the word, and if you are not able to infer through the context, what do? You will definitely refer dictionary. And you'll try to find the meanings of those words. Sometimes you will infer the meaning of that word through the context. So you learn a new words. improves our focus, improves our concentration and imagination. You start imagining a lot. You go into imaginative flight. The reading, the writer, the world becomes your world. You start identifying with the character and you are transported to an altogether different world. Makes us smarter. We come across so many characters. We learn a lot about the world. Most importantly, improves memory. You start remembering a lot of things. Those who are habitual in reading feel comforted with books. It soothes, it comforts and relieves tension and loneliness. It doesn't matter if you don't have friends. If you find a book, get into the book, and the characters become your friends. People often get tired in their daily routines. Most of us usually give preference to the need to relax our bodies. We always forget that our minds need rest too. And when we want to relax, we sleep. We may not get sleep. Or we use mobile. But lot of exhaustion will be there because our mind will be working a lot. But get into the book, read the book, and you forget the world. You get relaxed. To me, reading is something that can make me forget other things that give me stress and gives my mind complete relaxation, just like yoga. It exposes me to a world of imagination when nothing is impossible. We are here in the 21st century. It's a digital world. Everything is moving at rocket speed. People are virtually running. We are totally pressed. A lot of things are there at our disposal. These days, people are so engaged in their social and professional lives that they rarely find time to read. Excessive use of the internet plays a key role. It has taken over books, newspapers, and magazines. Social networking is holding us captive within a single electronic gadget that is mobile. In order to improve reading habits among us children, particularly, motivation from parents and teachers is very necessary. So many things are there for distractions, particularly your mobile and social media, WhatsApp groups. You keep on talking to your friends. So you have to eliminate distractions and make a daily goal. Set a daily page goal. So 10 pages, 20 pages, one novel a week, or one a book a fortnight. It can be non-fictional work too. Make it a point. Or motivational book. So you can begin with a book a fortnight. So 2 books every month. Make a selective reading. Start reading every day. Even if it's only for a few minutes, it will all add up week by week. Always try to have a book handy some way to pull out when you are standing in a queue or taking the bus. You can even keep a book by your bed to read before you relax and fall asleep. Books are no doubt very faithful friends of a reader. They will never betray you. They will always accompany you throughout your life. We must never let it die out. And let's promote reading. You will come across so many anthologies of poems, collections of poems. Pick up any book, read any line, any poetic line. Like Robert Frost, you must have read many poems of Robert Frost, a pragmatic American poet. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Woods are lovely, dark and deep. Woods are lovely, dark and deep. And These are the poems. What do they tell us? When you see around, they all, nature, the natural beauty, nature's beauty, this beautiful landscape. And you get stuck with that beauty. You forget about everything. But remember that you have got a goal and you have to move forward in the life. You have to move forward. You have to reach to your destination. Poet says something, but there is a lot of scope for interpretation. And who will interpret? You too. And when you start interpreting, what happens? You come out with a lot of thoughts, and a lot of thoughts start playing in your mind. It's a mind's game that you play with thoughts. Pick up one line, think over that line, think of the interpretation, think what the poet thought, think what you think, and one day you'll find you'll start writing poems. You'll come out with beautiful thoughts, overflow of emotional thoughts. That's what we find in the poem. Overflowing of thoughts. The poet is not able to suppress those thoughts, and then he writes in those poems, and beautiful thoughts, very crispy thoughts, in brief. So many thoughts he will express. So go through those collections of the poems. No need to read entire poem. Pick up any line. Think over on those lines. Pick up any stanza. So much meaning is there. All the world is a stage. All men and women merely players. We are all playing different roles. Just try to remember those lines that you have come across in the poems that you have studied. How meaningful those lines are. The poet Shakespeare is comparing the whole world to a stage. And he says that we are all playing different roles. When you are a child, you are totally different kind of role you are playing. When you grow up as a student, your role is different. As a parent, your role is different. So different roles we are playing. And what is that stage? The stage is the world. Life, our life. And one day what happens? We have got our exits. So birth and death, entrance and exit. How beautifully the poem, the thoughts have been woven in the poem. Let's end this session with a poem. There's a land by Lillian B. Jacobs. The land, a marvelous land, where trolls and giants dwell, where witches with their bitter brew can cast a magic spell, where mermaids sing, where carpets fly, where in the midst of night brownies dance to cricket tunes, and ghosts all shivery and white prowl and moan. There's a land of magic folks and deeds, and anyone can visit there who reads and reads and reads. So it's a marvelous world. It's a wonderful world where trolls and giants live in, where witches with a bitter brew can cast a magic spell, where mermaids sing, where carpets fly, where in the midst of night brownies dance to cricket tunes, and ghosts all shivery and white prowl and moon. There's a land of magic folks and deeds, and anyone can visit there who reads and reads and reads. So start reading, keep on reading, and you'll make this living a wonderful living, an enjoyable living, and your life will be very enjoyable, happy. Enjoy life.